Hello student, welcome to social studies class. This is the second class and in this class I shall discuss chapter 20. It is there in your second evaluation syllabus. So chapter 28 is India, natural vegetation and wildlife. So chapter 20, India, natural vegetation, and wildlife. So it is there in your half yearly second evaluation syllabus. Now first, what is vegetation? Vegetation, it is the natural growth of plants in an area as per the climatic condition of that particular area without involvement or without interference of any human being. These are called natural vegetation. Now, the different types of the natural vegetation found in India, that we will discuss one by one, and the importance of this natural vegetation. So, all these vegetation, natural vegetation, these are very much important, and we are using all this in our daily life. And this natural vegetation, it has much importance in different industries, mining industry, then the wood, okay. So manufacturing of sports material, furniture, construction, this sites, so different, and the other activities are also there where these woods are very much important, and for that, so natural vegetation is also important, and the other environmental importance is also there, that also we will discuss in this chapter. Now first one is the tropical the vegetation which found in India. So these are the tropical evergreen forest. Now tropical evergreen forest, this forest it is found in India, okay. So tropical evergreen forest. So here it is evergreen. So ever. So this type of forest do not shed their leaves throughout the year. It means throughout the year this type of forest remain green. Okay, evergreen. Now this type of forest are mainly found in the area where more than 200 centimeter annual rainfall receives by the areas. So in those areas, so this type of forest are found. Temperature, it is 25 to 27 degree Celsius, the temperature. Now this type of forest mainly found in the Western Ghat and the northeastern state, Andaman and Nicobar Island, and the part of West Bengal and the Odisha. So the trees which are found mainly in this type of forest, these are oak, deodar, mahogany and wild rubber, etc. So these are the trees which are found in this type of forest. So write the characteristics of tropical evergreen forest. If the question comes, then you have to write that this forest found in the heavy rainfall region, heavy rainfall area where more than 200 centimeter rainfall received by the area. So in those areas, like this, you have to write temperature, then where these forests are found, and then the different trees which are found. Now next is the tropical deciduous forest. Now this type of forests are also called as monsoon forest. So mostly widespread or in the Western Ghat, in the south to the Shivalik Hill in the north. Now this forest, this type of forest, tropical deciduous forest, shed their leaves, okay. This type of forest sheds their leaf once in a year. Here shedding of leaves are not there. So tropical deciduous forests shed their leaf once in a year, and it is shed, this type of forest shed their leaf in the summer season. Now the trees which are found in this forest, these are sandalwood, ebony, sesame, mahua, etc. Now these forests are also known for its valuable wood, mainly used in the furniture and construction building. So this is the second type of the forest, tropical deciduous forest. Here it is also called as the monsoon forest. So all these type of forests are very important. So in our development and to maintain a very healthy environment, for that also these are very important. Now next is the thorn forest. Third one is now what is it? So now these forests are mainly found in the arid region. Arid region means very dry region, dry. Okay. So or a region where rainfall is very scanty or very less rainfall takes place in the areas. So in such areas, so this type of forests are found. So mainly Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana, where rainfall is less than 50 centimeter annually. Now these forests are mainly consist of the stunted trees and the bushes, means not too means high trees. So these are having generally 6 feet. Okay. So the trees in this forest, it develops sharp spines and a very deep root. Now why deep root? Because the area now root goes very deep. Now why? Because the area receive very scanty rainfall, and that is why. So what plant needs nutrients and all this. So whatever the plant needs, so plant take from the soil. Clear? So and all this root in search of all this go very deep, so that it can take, the root can take whatever the plant need. So that is why this tree, okay, so the long deep root. Okay. Now mainly two kind of vegetation so found in this forest. So one is, it is kikar or the babul to you know. So and second one is the pal, and some typical cacti also grown. Okay, cactus. Okay, so this cacti too have a very deep root and fleshy stem, and their leaves turn into spine to preserve waters. So this is thorn forest. So now what we have found here, it is that so these forests are mainly found in the area where annual rainfall is less than 50 centimeter, and the region includes that the Punjab, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Haryana. Clear? Now the two types of the vegetation mainly found, it is kikar or the babul or palm. Other than this, cacti is also found in this type of forest, and the trees which are mainly found in this type of forest can adjust the climatic condition or can survive the climatic condition of these hot areas or the areas which receive very scanty rainfall. Because of this type of trees have means the potential to survive the harsh climatic condition, and that is why this type of trees are found in this forest. Other than this, so this type of trees have a very deep root to in search of the nutrient or whatever the needs by the plant. Now next type of forest, it is tidal forest. Now what is tidal forest? Now tidal forests are also called as mangrove forest. Now this type of forest mainly found in the deltic region. Okay, so Sundarban Delta we know it. Okay, so in this Sundarban Delta, this mangrove forest is also found. Now how it is that? Now mouth of the river always form delta. Now this is a river, and this is its mouth, and the delta will form here if like this, when the water will come, and along with that the silt and all this will be deposited here, and it will form a delta. Now in this deltic region, the forest which grows there, it is called as tidal forest or mangrove forest. Now mainly the river Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, all these rivers. So when all these river they deposit silt, sediment, rock, soil and all this, so form a delta, and in those deltic area, so that forest grows there, and these are called as mangrove forest or tidal forest. Now the Krishna, Kaveri, Brahmaputra, Ganga, so these rivers form the delta, and in this deltic region, so the mangrove or the tidal forest is grown. Now Casuarina is an important tree of this forest. Now this type of forest provides very hard wood, and this wood are very useful in making board. Now the name of Sundarban has been named after the most commonly used tree. It is called Sundari tree, and that is why it is known as Sundarban Delta. Clear? Sundarban. Now in this Sundarban forest, this tiger is also found there. Next it is the mountain forest. Mountain forest it is. Now in the mountainous region, in the last class also I said you, so according to the altitude, so different climatic conditions are found there. So based on that I said you, so in every, so whenever we go upward the temperature also decreases, and whenever temperature decreases, so it also influences the vegetation. Okay. Now first one is the in this mountain forest, so across the mountain from the base level to its the top level, so you will not find the vegetation, it is same across top to bottom, it is not that. So according to this based on the altitude, so the different types of forests are also found in the mountainous region. First one is the tropical deciduous vegetation. So the vegetation mainly found in the lower slope. Say this is mountain. So in this area, lower slope and up to 1000 meter. Okay. Up to 1000 meter, the trees whatever found from bottom to 1000 meter, one means 1 kilometer, and mainly sal and the bamboo tree, all these are found in this area. Now next is the subtropical mixed deciduous forest. This forest is found up to altitude of 1000 800. So from here to this, up to this much, 1800 meter. So this is subtropical deciduous. It is deciduous. Okay, tropical deciduous vegetation, and this is subtropical deciduous. So the tree, oak, pine, and the etc. and others are also there. Now next is the coniferous. Coniferous, it is from 1800 to 3500. So this up to 3500. This is coniferous. Clear? Coniferous, and the trees are pine, silver, deodar, spruce, etc. So these are the different type of trees which are found in this region. With increasing of height, so what happen? So temperature decreases, and we find very low temperature, and as a result we feel very cold there. Now alpine vegetation, it is found above 3500 meter, and only shrub and the grasses grow there. Beyond that 5000 meter, from 3000 to 5000 meter, it is means 5 kilometer, only the grasses are there. Only the grasses are there, and beyond 5000 only snow. Okay, snow line is there. Okay, snow line. Clear? So the altitude of the mountain above which snow never melt, it is called the snow line. So the peak or the top of the mountain, it is covered by snow. Now mountain remain covered with snow and no vegetation grow. So it is because of the covered by the snow, there is no chances of growing the vegetation. Next, it is that the multiple benefits are there. Multiple benefits of forest, and some of the benefits we will see now. So these are the different types of the vegetation. 1000, it is the tropical deciduous. 1800 meter, it is the subtropical deciduous. Then coniferous, then the alpine vegetation. It is 3500 to 5000, and after 5000 to top of the or the peak of the high mountain, it is called the snow line. So these are the different types of the vegetation which mainly found in the mountainous region or in a mountain. So that you have to remember. And now the benefits of the forest we will see one by one. So it provides hardwood, softwood, honey, gum, resin, medicine, and the different medicinal plants. So we extract medicine also. Now the soil, also check the soil erosion. So the root of the trees always. So the root of the tree hold the soil very tightly, and it help the soil erosion. So it prevent or check the soil erosion. It also attract the means the moist laden wind to cause rainfall in a particular area. Now whenever the moisture laden wind comes, so the trees or the lines of trees, if in any area, so it is found in any area, so it will protect the moisture laden wind from its further blow. So as a result the rainfall will also take place. Now so forest, we all know that forests so are a home for the wildlife. So it give as home to the animals. So that is why cutting down of this forest means we are destroying the homes of wildlife. Next is that It also help in checking the pollution of our environment. Now, the pollution free environment, we all want to know the pollution free environment. So presence of the forest or forest covered area, maximum forest covered area will result in maintaining a balanced or a very healthy environment. Continuous cutting down, so these are some of these benefits. Okay, other than this, it also that home for wildlife. It the forest gives us firewood and all this. So many more benefits are there. So now some of these are worth mentioning benefits. Now, wildlife. Mercilessly, we should not cut down the forest, and those who are hosteler or in this locality, Badarpur locality also. So what we found here, it is that so everywhere, so monkeys are there and roaming here and there. So we have destroyed their home. So now they are coming to our home. So whenever we will destroy the home of wildlife, so they will come over the street or the area where the human settlements are there, and as a result what will happen, so people will start killing and all these animals, and as a result, so the different types of the animal will become extinct or endangered, and as a result, so there will be no such animal. So wildlife we will discuss now. India has varied and rich wildlife, and some of this variety of is antelopes, elephants, bisons, tiger, bear, lion, etc. So different wildlife are there, and these names goes on and on, but lions are found in the Gir forest in Saurashtra in Gujarat. Only there it is found. Royal Bengal tiger in the Sundarban forest in West Bengal. Now, if these animals are not protected, then this animal will permanently extinct from India. Now, one-horned rhino, it is found in Assam only. Now, to protect and to save all these animals, now peacock is one which is declared as the national bird also. Elephant is found in Assam, one-horned rhino, it is found in Assam. Now, number of species are there. In India, there are 1,228 species of birds, 44 species of reptile, and 372 species of mammals, and 204 species of amphibians are found in India. So this is a data, okay, which is given in your book also, that these are the different types of the species which are found in India. So if these are not protected, and continuously if these are poached or hunted down by some of the greedy people to earn the profit or to enjoy the profit. So some of the animals, say the one-horned rhino, their teeth, bones, skins, all these are very costly in the market, so international market or the other market. So that is why, so poacher always try to poach the one-horned rhino, they always hunt this costly animal. So as a result, what happened, so some of the animal become endangered, and some of these are extincting, means going to extinct in very near future. So that is why Government of India has taken several steps to protect all these animal, and as a result, so 86 national parks have been set up by government. Apart from that, bird sanctuaries also set up by government. So as a result, what happened? I said you that it is because of the bones, teeth and fur of the of different animals, elephant, rhino and the number of other costly animals are there. So to sell the body parts of all those animals, so the poacher and the hunter, they always hunt all this. So government, by setting up of these different national park and the bird sanctuaries, government trying to save all these animals. Now Project Tiger and Project Rhino have also been started by government to protect the tiger and the rhinoceros. So every year in the month of October is celebrated as Wildlife Week, so that people can become aware. Without awareing the people, if people are not aware to saving the both the forest covered area and the saving of these different wildlife, it is not possible. So wildlife is means the living beings, okay, so which lives in the forest area. So these are wildlife only. Now conservation of the natural vegetation and this wildlife. Conservation of all these are very important, because we are to move forward. We are to move forward. So by practicing the sustainable development. Now how to do all these? Now we are not to consume everything. At present, we are also to keep or save the resources for our future generation also. Now sustainable development is to achieve the economic development at present by keeping the resources for the future generation. Now whatever the forest covered areas are there at present, continuously if we use and destroy all these, so as a result what will happen? So our future generation will not get these forest resources. And second, it is also that, so the minerals, the mineral or the natural gas and oil, whatever there, so if we continuously use them, they will not get, the future generation, they will face a scarcity. Now a number of things at present we are facing scarcity. So more than 70% world is covered by water, but we are facing the water scarcity. You go there in the Saudi Arabia, so their water scarcity is there. Rajasthan, you ask the people of Rajasthan, so water scarcity is there. So that is why we are not to waste so any type of resources. Conservation, it is very much important. So if people are aware about the conservation of resources, then only the resource can be conserved. Now how to conserve? So we are to use the resources very judiciously or in a very well planned manner. We should take every possible step to protect the resources, either it is forest resources or the rice what we take. We should not waste the rice. So water resource, any type of resource, whatever the resource is, so we should not waste the resources. We should take every possible help to protect and preserve the resources. And second, it is that government should try to aware the people through different organization or the non-government organization. And the non-government organization also should take the initiative of awareing the people. Now in Madhya Pradesh, particular group or community is there. They live in the adjacent to the forest area or in the forest area. They worship the forest. Clear? So now mainly these are the tribal people. So they completely do not cut down the forest. So without forest they cannot live. So now there is no problem. So animal and the human being all are living very peacefully. Now why all this problem are taking place? It is just because of that. So it is population explosion is taken as one of the main reason. How it is that the population is increasing continuously, and as a result, so the human settlement is increasing. So by cutting down or clearing the patches of the forest. So these are the some of the steps that so how to conserve this natural vegetation. And regarding the wildlife, I said you that the government number of these national parks and the bird sanctuaries have been set up by the government, and hunting and killing of wildlife has been banned by the government and is declared as illegal act also. Those who will hunt, now poaching and hunting of one-horned rhino in Assam, it is illegal. Those who will do, they will be punished. So hunting of animal and poaching, so this has been made or declared as illegal act. So now next it is that the effort are being made to create awareness among the people regarding the wildlife reserve, not to kill the animal. So we are to be very much aware about the preserving or protecting this wildlife. If we do not do all this, then this wildlife, the number of animals will extinct or endangered. That is why it is our responsibility to protect and preserve all this wildlife also. So I said you how to preserve and protect the natural vegetation and the wildlife. So this is all about the full discussion of this chapter. Different terms are there at the end of the chapter. You read this chapter repeatedly, enjoy this class, and after the chapter, so fill in the blanks, match the following in the question answers. Questions are also there in the chapter. You read and enjoy this class, and my number is also with you. If you face any problem, every night you contact me, I shall solve your problem. This is all about the day's discussion and about the chapter. Thanks to